there. Welcome to our Friday night complimentary coaching session where we're going to release the root cause of anything that's challenging you right now. So this is the time to come to us with some kind of a challenge or a struggle, something that you've been kind of dealing with for a long time, and you just want to see what is the root cause so that I can get some clarity and get an actual resolution to this problem. So hello, Kimberly. We had a couple of people say that they were going to be the first three. And I think, Kimberly, you said you wanted to be one of the first people, right? So if you're one of the first three people, and which is what we had time for tonight, just comment, say hello, and let us know what you want to focus on this evening. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Angela. Welcome. So I'm just looking in this to see who it was. I think, Jenny, you said. Okay, so Jenny, Angelica, and Lasara. So how this works is I'm going to tune in energetically and read the energy of your challenge. So I can read your energy regarding the challenge, and we're going to find out exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Is it a stuck emotion? Is it a belief? Is it some kind of a pattern? And we're going to find out when that was installed into your programming. We are like living computers, and between the ages of when you're in the womb to 7 years old, that's when most of our program is written. So we can actually go back into the system and identify where that is and pull it out. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and this is the first step of the process. So what we're going to do is it's going to launch this shift, and when people do this, they experience a shift right away. And then to really make this a permanent change, there are a few other steps to go. And step 2 happens in the Miracle 90 group on Monday night when we do our live sessions in that group. Okay, so this is the first step. If you want to move on to step 2, then just come join us in Miracle 90 and you can continue this process to fruition. But everybody experiences a shift just even after the first step. So. All right, so hello, Annie. So good to see you here. All right, so Jenny, thank you so much for joining us and being so prompt, right on time. Let's start with you. So just let me know, let us know in the comments what your challenge is that you'd like to focus on, and we'll take it from there. And if you're somebody who wants to do this, who wants to participate in this, make sure you have your question ready because there's a little bit of lag, and I'd rather not be waiting for too long while people are trying to figure out what their question is. Yeah, so good to have you. Okay. All right, great question, Kimberly. Okay, can we go with hanging on to this extra weight? Okay, so Jenny wants to know what the root cause to hanging on to extra weight is. So Jenny, what I'd like you to do while we do this session is be ready to type. Because of the lag, it can take a little while. So just pay really close attention because I'm going to be asking you more questions, okay? So we're going to find out the root cause to Jenny holding on to extra weight. So we're going to see, does this have a physical root cause? Is it an emotional root cause? Is it a mental root cause? Okay, so it is an emotional root cause, and is it grief? Is it fear? Is it anger? Okay. So what's really interesting, you guys, is whenever there is grief, there's a layer of anger right over that. And so this is a combination of anger and grief, but the grief is really the root cause. Okay. And so did this grief come in from conception to birth? Birth to 10? Birth to 5? Was it age 5? Was it age 6? Okay, so age 6. Did it have to do with Jenny's mom? Did it have to do with Jenny's dad? Okay, and was it something that Jenny empathetically took from her dad? And was it because of something he said or did? Okay, so Jenny, does this make sense that this is grief from when you were 6 having to do with your dad? And what I'm getting is that this was a pattern with him, whether it manifested as weight, as extra weight or not. This grief pattern is something that he had deeply ingrained, in that you picked it up energetically from him, in addition to responding to his something that he said or did around the time when you were 6. So does that make sense to you? Oh, okay. And it's okay if you don't recall a specific event. With something like this, it could be an attitude. It may not have been one specific thing. It could have been just the environment that you grew up in. So does that make sense? Okay. All right. So while we do this, Jenny, what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And just allow yourself to be totally open, be really like tune into your body. See if you can notice where you might have a sensation as we focus on, like you can ask your body, where is the grief? Okay, ask your body that, where's the grief? And just notice in your body, do you feel like a tingling or a pressure somewhere, like your throat, your heart, your head, your stomach? And then when you feel that, allow yourself to open up, and we're going to release that energy. Okay. So we are releasing this pattern of grief for Jenny from when she was 6 years old, having to do with her dad. Jenny, take a deep breath. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. And if I'd like to know if anything came up for you while we did that release, if you had like any insights or a specific memory that came up, or you had a specific image that came up, that's kind of helpful to be aware of. And now we're going to reprogram. We're going to create a new program to replace that program of grief. And so this new program is going to be of love, and it's going to be love and acceptance. Awesome. Jenny says, I feel lighter. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to install a new program of love and acceptance, and I can tell that you're ready for this. There's no resistance at all, in that you've been ready for it for a long time. So that's awesome. So you can just imagine that love and acceptance flowing in through your heart and distributing through your body, overflowing with this love and acceptance. You can breathe it in, feel it in every part of your body, your head, your shoulders, your neck, your chest, your stomach, down your legs, your feet, your arms, and your hands. Love and acceptance. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Awesome. So let me know, did anything come up while we did the reprogramming, Jenny? And you guys, this is so simple. It's so simple, and it's really easy. And this is something that you can learn how to do yourself, and you can be doing stuff like this on a daily basis to work through those layers and to, it's like peeling back the onion, and you reveal all of this gold. You get so much clarity and energy as you release these things that are holding you down, that are weighing you down. Hey, Nicole. All right. So Jenny, let me know if anything came up for you, what you experienced during that reprogramming. And as far as I know, I'm not seeing anybody else here who said they would be here. But Kimberly did have a question. So glad you could join us, Nicole. So you guys, there's time for one more person after Kimberly. So whoever says they want to go next, we will do you next. Hey, Ed, so glad you could join us. Ed is going to do a training with us next week, and it's going to be amazing. You're going to be blown away by this training he's going to do. It's all about prosperity, which is perfect timing for Kimberly. So Kimberly's question is if there is time, I'd like help finding out why I'm having so much trouble getting out of debt. I feel restricted. All right. So same thing, Kimberly, I want you to be, oh, you're so welcome, Jenny. So I'm going to reach out and check in with you in a couple of days and just see how you're doing. But just be really mindful, Jenny, of what comes up for you in the next couple of days. Write down any insights and take immediate action when you get that new inspiration, because you're going to be guided in a different way now. We've released this program, and now you've got this new program that's going to be helping to direct you, with your health and with a bunch of other things. So if you feel guided to, get lemons, then go get lemons. If you feel guided to different foods, different activities, if you feel guided to reach out to anybody, all these little things are part of this new guidance that you have now. So what would hold you back is if you resist that new inspiration and that new guidance, and you try to do things the same as you have been doing in the past, because consciously it's like a habit. Okay, so just really pay attention to these insights that come, trust them, and go and take action right away. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels even scary. Okay, awesome. And definitely come to the Miracle 90 session, because that will continue this process for you. And of course, do your self-treatments and everything, and all that is going to work to help you with this process. Okay. So Kimberly wants to know about, she's been having a hard time getting out of debt and feels restricted. All right, so we're going to find out, And so again, Kimberly, just pay really close attention to the video. So I'm going to be asking you some questions, okay? So you can be able to respond right away. So we're going to find out if this is a mental, if the root cause is a mental problem, or is it an emotional problem? Okay. And does this come in from, let's see. Okay, is it fear? Is it anger? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it grief? Is it anger? Is it shame? Is it guilt? And did this come in from conception to birth? Birth to 10? Is it up birth to 5? Is it age 5? Age 6? Okay. So is it anger, shame, and guilt the root cause to Kimberly staying in debt? And did that anger, shame, and guilt come in at age 6? Okay. Did it have to do with her mom? Her dad? Was this something she empathetically took from her dad? Something because of what her dad said or did? Okay. So Kimberly, what I'm getting is that this is actually anger, shame, and guilt all wrapped up in a nice little package from when you were 6, having to do with your dad, that you empathetically, like energetically, took from him, you know, as a way of taking on his pain. And of course, this is something that is unintentional and totally unconscious. And I was also getting the feeling that it was something a little more serious. So just let me know if that makes sense to you. Hey, Paris, so good to have you here. So yeah, just let me know, Kimberly, if that makes sense to you, that it was anger, shame, and guilt that you empathetically took from your dad, meaning that your dad had that pattern, and that as a child, you took that pain from him and you owned it, and you took it on as your own pattern by accident. Okay. So Kimberly says, makes sense because my dad was always working and not around much because of it. And that makes sense, having to do with money and with debt, and having that dichotomy of, you know, if your dad's working all the time, then money equals pain, you know. So this is something that's going to be really important to be able to clear out. And again, Kimberly, this is step 1. You can come into Miracle 90 on Monday and we can continue the process. And of course, doing your self-treatments will also continue that process. So let's clear it out now. And so think about, ask your body, where is this anger, guilt, and shame? Close your eyes, take a breath. Where is this anger, guilt, and shame? Just feel, is it your head? Is it your throat, your heart, your stomach, anywhere else? And just notice where you feel some kind of a sensation. All right, and imagine that area just opening up. And take a few deep breaths, and we're going to release this anger, guilt, and shame for Kimberly from when she was 6 that she had accidentally taken from her dad. And Kimberly, I don't know if your dad is like particularly sensitive spiritually or tuned in spiritually, but I'm actually feeling his presence, and I just felt a message from him saying, it's okay. It's okay. Awesome. Beautiful. So just let me know what came up for you when we did that. If anything, if you felt anything, if there were any thoughts or insights or images that came to your mind. Yeah, that's interesting, Kimberly. I felt him 2 times during this process. I really think this is perfect timing. And this is actually helping him too, to release that. It's like there's an attachment, and this is going to be part of releasing that attachment. And if you want to come in on Monday to the Miracle 90 session and go further with this specifically, then we can work on cutting that cord with your dad. And all that does is it releases any, leftover unhealthy attachment that was created early on so that you both can be more empowered within your relationship. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to create a new program of self-love, of love for yourself. And as we create this new program for self-love, Kimberly, I'd like you to imagine yourself at 6 years old. And just whatever's the first image that comes to your mind when you think of yourself at 6 is perfect. And imagine 6-year-old Kimberly being filled with light. Imagine a pink light coming down and filling her head, filling her chest, her stomach, flooding her whole body with this pink light. This is self-love. You might even imagine yourself giving her a hug. And telling her some message, thinking about what did she need to hear back then, 6-year-old Kimberly. Just give her that message, tell her that, maybe whisper it into her ear. Beautiful. All right, so let me know what came up for you during that reprogram, Kimberly. And if you have any insights or if you felt any kind of a shift. I know you felt a shift with the first one. Okay, Kimberly says throat feels looser and stomach is more open. Beautiful. So this is the perfect time to, before you go to bed tonight, Kimberly, drink a lot of water and do your self-treatment before you go to bed. And again, like with Jenny, pay really close attention to your intuition, into your insights, and take immediate action when you are inspired, because you have this new guidance now. You've got this new program, and there may be little things that you're drawn to. Maybe the first thing that came to my mind was like investment. Is there an investment that you could be doing, even if it's like the smallest thing? I don't know why that came up, but if that serves you, cool. Awesome. Kimberly says, I told her that she is loved and cared for, that she's safe. I hugged her and felt a big release when I saw the pink light flow. Yeah, you guys, the past, the present, and the future are all happening right now. They're all happening right now. So when we do this kind of release and reprogram, and we actually go back to that younger version of ourselves, there is a shift that happens in the present moment, which is really cool. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much, Kimberly. You did a great job with that. All right, we've got time for one more person. Who would like to go next? Who do we have? Let's see, Lawrence, Jackie, Paris. Just let me know if you want to go next. Awesome. Kimberly says, thank you. I'll join the session on Monday to continue the healing and do my self-care tonight before bedtime. Perfect, Kimberly. That is really going to set you up for success with the longevity of this process. Okay. So Daniela, would you like to go next? So sorry to hear you had a difficult day today. Okay. All right. Well, nobody else has said that they want to go. So of course, yeah, just let us know what you'd like to work on. And we'll get started. All right, sweet. So Daniela, yeah, just let us know what's on your mind and we'll check in with that. I just had an idea for Kimberly. Okay, so Kimberly, in the Miracle 90 session, we're going to also level up your money guide. And that's also going to work with everybody else who joins too. And, that's a really good point. Everybody who's here who is not asking a question, you are also experiencing some kind of a shift. And let me know if you have felt that, if you felt the shift. In past sessions, people have said that they have felt the shift or that they could really relate to what we've been talking about with the people who've asked the questions. All right. Okay, so Daniela says, I've been accused twice today of doing things that I didn't do, and it seems to be a pattern. Okay, so twice today. So Daniela, has this happened any other time? Or is it just today? Like, was this happening earlier in the week? The reason I'm asking is because, yeah, awesome, Kimberly. The reason I'm asking is because 2 times is super frustrating, but it's not necessarily a pattern. So I just want to see if there were any other times, or if it was the 2. All right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna ask if Daniela being accused is because of an emotional pattern. Is it because of a mental pattern? Okay, and is it because of a belief? Is it the belief that she's bad? Is it belief that she's not good enough? Is it because of the belief that she's bad? Okay. So does that resonate with you, Daniela? And this is really common for people who especially grew up in a household where there's like perfectionism and kind of some negative attitude in the home, where you have this feeling of like I'm a bad person, or I'm like a bad girl. Like, were you ever told that when you were a kid? Does that make sense? Oh, awesome. Anne says, feel the healing energy. Very cool. And the way that this comes up, this message of I'm a bad girl, I mean, I see it most of the time with women, because girls are expected to be good. It's just a societal thing, you know, and that's the message we get from everybody growing up. Girls are expected to be good. And so when we make a mistake, there's either something that's said or this underlying message that that was wrong and that, you know, you're a bad girl. So this comes up as being triggered, and it's very common. I see this quite a bit where people get triggered and they just have that feeling. It's like almost like PTSD from when they were a kid. Okay, yes. Daniela says, a lot of perfectionism on behalf of both parents, constant disapproval. All right. So the reason this is coming up, Daniela, is because this is the layer that is ready to be released. So it's like your spirit is there tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to leave now. Or not your spirit, but like this pattern is coming to the surface and it's expressing as this pattern. And so, all right. So we're going to find out, let's see, did this pattern of I'm a bad person come in from conception to birth? From birth to 10? From 10 to 20? From 10 to 15? So age 10? To 11? So to this pattern of I'm a bad person come in for Daniela at age 11. Did it have to do with her mom? Have to do with her dad? Have to do with another family member? All right, Daniela, do you have siblings? You have brother or sister? Okay. So did this this pattern of I'm a bad person have to do with one of her sisters? Did it have to do with a teacher? Okay. Was it something she empathetically took from her teacher? Was it something her teacher said or did? Okay. So Daniela, what I was getting is that this is from when you were 10, having to do, hold on. Is this from when she was 10? From when she was 11. Okay, so it was from when you were 11, having to do with a teacher, something that a teacher said or did. So you would have been in, I think, 6th grade if you were on the typical path. Does that make sense to you? And there may be other layers to this, but this is like the layer that's ready to be released right now. Okay. Just let me know if that makes sense, and then we'll be able to do the release on it. Okay. All right, so we'll do the release, and oh.
So how long will you be down here for?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Danielle says, "Oh wow, I was taken out of the choir age 11 from recording a record because my parents were fighting. My mom couldn't take me to rehearsal, and they took my solo parts away and made me wait outside the recording studio." Oh my gosh, I just got total chills with that. Daniela says, I didn't even remember it anymore until now. Yeah, so something, that's huge. That's huge. And something like that, makes a huge impact on a person, especially at that age. So we're going to release this now. And I want you to think about that phrase, I'm a bad person. And I know that's like really hard to think about, but I want you to think it anyway and just see, where does it hit you the most? Does it hit you in the heart, in the throat, the stomach, the head? And just imagine that part being really open. All right, and we're going to release this message of I'm a bad person from when Daniela was 11. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Daniela. Daniela says, I'm crying and my chest feels like it's under something really heavy. All right, so just really feel your chest being open. You can imagine it like an open door. You just feel that light coming in to your chest. All right, so we're just gonna see, does Daniela still have this program, this message of I'm a bad person? Okay, so clearing out this message of I'm a bad person. Take a deep breath. Okay. All right. And we're going to create a new pattern. We're going to install a new pattern of I am truly perfect and enough. I am truly perfect and enough. And when I say I'm truly perfect, I mean that in a sense of even the imperfections are perfect. I am perfect, I'm enough, I'm loved. I'm perfect, I'm enough, I'm loved. Okay, so I'd like you to say that to yourself a couple of times. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, Daniela, and say, I am perfect, I'm enough, I'm loved. I'm perfect, I'm enough, I'm loved. And you can even say that with your breath. Breathe in, I'm perfect. Breathe out, I'm enough, I'm loved. I'm perfect now. I'm enough, I'm loved. I'm perfect now. I'm enough, I'm loved. I'm perfect now. I'm enough, I'm loved. And we're going to install that on a cellular and even a DNA level. And you can feel that light pouring into your heart, carrying this message of I am perfect now. I'm enough, I'm loved. I am perfect now. I'm enough. I'm loved. And you know what? There's something, we're going to take out the I'm perfect now and go with I'm enough. I'm loved. All right. Because I think with this particular situation, the I'm perfect part of the message is the meaning isn't really working for this. So we're just going to go with I'm enough, I'm loved, I'm enough now, I am loved, I'm enough now, I'm loved. All right. Take a deep breath. And this message, the meaning of this message, the energy of this message is entering your heart and actually restructuring your DNA, restructuring your cells, delivering this message to every one of your cells. I'm enough right now. I'm loved. And I feel a major, major, major shift. Oh my gosh, Daniela, this is something that you have been ready for a long time. It's like this excitement. It's like every part of you has been waiting for this. I don't know if you can feel that too, but I'm enough right now. I am loved. I'm enough right now. I am loved. Awesome. That was so good. That was so good. Oh, how do you feel? How do you feel? Tell me like what came up for you when we did that reprogram. If you felt anything, if you saw or if you had any insights while we did that. Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. Danielle says makes such a difference. So this is something, Daniela, that is going to be taking place over the next couple of weeks. I mean, this was a really big shift, and just be really mindful of what you're guided to and people that you need to reach out to, and any practices that you could be doing. Come on Monday night, we'll be doing our session in Miracle 90, and that will help to reinforce what we just did this evening, and do your self-treatments. Awesome. Danielle says, that was it. It was right there. It felt like I was floating. Yeah, this is big. This is really big, Daniela. And I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for you, and I'm really proud of you for coming with this. And I think everybody benefited from it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us this evening and held space for this session. Thank you so much for everybody who participated. Daniela and Kimberly and Jenny, you guys did amazing. And we'll see you in Miracle 90 on Monday. We'll do part 2 and really reinforce the session, and level everything up, and clear anything else out. This is kind of like a chiropractic adjustment, where you go to the chiropractor once, and then when you first start going, you go a lot very frequently. So you might go every day for the next couple of weeks, or at least once a week. And so it's the same thing with this kind of a shift. So we do the first shift, it's like, you got a really good adjustment, and you're going to feel a lot of relief from that. But then it's really important to follow up and be consistent with this process. Otherwise, it's like what we were working with tonight. It's like having like a herniated disc, or I don't know a whole lot about back issues. So maybe not a herniated disc, but like I used to have this kink in my neck, and I would it's really bad. I had very limited mobility in my neck, and I would go to the chiropractor. It would be awesome. And then the next day, it would be right back to where it was before. So I did really intensive chiropractic work. And then eventually it all shifted into place because I created a new muscle memory. And actually, with that particular issue, when I started doing this energy work, my chiropractor was blown away at how my back in my spine just shifted into place. But anyway, so it's the consistency of doing this work that really makes that permanent change inside of you. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We're going to be doing this again on Friday. I believe I'll have to look at my schedule. But if you want to be somebody who participates and asks a question, something that's been really weighing on you, then please let me know, and I'll make sure to save a space for you. Awesome. Anna says it also helped her too. Beautiful. Beautiful. So thank you so much, you guys. Have an amazing rest of your Friday night. Oh my gosh, I feel so honored that you spent your Friday night with me here. That is amazing. And have a wonderful weekend. And we'll connect again soon. And let me know if you are interested in continuing the process and want to find out more about Miracle 90, or you want to see, if this is something that would be good for you. If you just want to learn more, let me know. All right, bye.